someone complaining about the bans in another video, so link is in the description and cards are on screen and all that jazz. It's even upset some people that have differing opinions to me because discussion, counterpoints and healthy discourse is a difficult thing to have within the Magic community sometimes. My favourite comment of someone being obnoxious and needlessly mean was this one.
Oh hey, another guy spazzing into a webcam with a bunch of dolls sitting around behind him. I bet this will be valuable content.
I'm sorry Mr. Schmidt, the dolls behind me were too arousing for you and distracted you a little bit there. Please look for your MTG content elsewhere, perhaps on top of a static image of some smoky mana symbols. I bet you hate net decks too, right?
Little stupid ass, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, bitch.
Hi, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and I'm the Magic content creating equivalent of Guile's theme. I'll literally go with anything. Wink wink, say no more, say no more. That was a joke about me being promiscuous. Lol. This week saw the unbanning of two boogeymen, or women in the case of the elf, of old. Jace the Mind Sculptor and Braid elf are both back, and they're both looking to be the 4-mana sorcery speed harbingers of the end times. The end is nigh, modern is dead, long live modern. So instead of playing them against one another, I thought, why not both? So I thought, let's play some rug mid-range. But then I felt like, you know, it's a good time to try Temur Ascendancy again, like an absolute fucking madman. Now, before the more competitive among the audience push your glasses up on your nose and screech, but that isn't tier 1, that's just a meme. Firstly, I changed the list halfway through this video for a more conventional rug mid-range list because, well, spoiler alert, Temur Ascendancy is bad. It just doesn't do anything in the face of fast and uninteractive decks like Burn and Boggles. Oh, modern. You fickle little bitch. Secondly, if you think Temur Ascendancy is a meme, you just wait till I reintroduce you to an old, formerly hyped but saw no play standard B-lister. Ladies and gentlemen, put those fucking hands together for the one, the only
Savage Knuck Boy.
Mr. Braid over here is looking to haste out onto the board and kill Jaces out of fucking nowhere, or just pop out a maelstrom of cascading raw energy and fuck your day up. Braid has got a friend with benefits and he is fucking savage. So our first list looks like so. It is Rug or Temur as the kids will know it now, with a lack of respect for history. It is a mid-range deck looking to outvalue our opponent by applying pressure through hasty threats and drawing cards thanks to Ascendancy. The deck hinges around two engines. The first is what I like to call Banned Tribal. So what we have is a load of banned cards, or previously banned cards, like Jace the Mind Sculptor, Braid elf, and Ancestral Visions. We are gunning to Jace Storm of Visions on top of our deck and cascade into it. That would literally be what I think the kids are calling the definition of a dream. The second and more questionable engine in the deck is Temur Ascendancy. Now I've already spoiled that this wasn't all that hot and a bit clunky. I might return to the idea one day, but at the moment the idea was to play as many low-costed 4-power fatties as I could get my hands on. A friend of mine and fellow Death and Taxes enthusiast Archie suggested that I try Imaginary Pet. Now Archie is a bit of a troll, so when he messaged me this I thought he was just chatting shit. But lo and behold, there's a card called Imaginary Pet, and the card is weird. Look at this fucking art. There's something a bit off about the art as well. It's a 2-mana 4/4 with downside and having to bounce it every turn when you're not hellbent. This seems fine though if you can haste it out over and over and draw a card off it every single turn. It's something I want to test again, perhaps in a different shell for sure, but it was fucking awkward here. On top of that, we've got Illusory Angels, another 4/4 for low cost with evasion. We can play it after a bauble or suspend visions and play it on the turn that visions comes off or after a bolt. We can also, and best of all, cascade into it. The card ended up being fine, if not sometimes quite good. Better than Pet, but far worse than Knuck over here. We also play Goify, hoping to grow him off of interacting and beating our opponent down. We play some baubles as well to enable him a little bit, though I don't think this shell's the best for baubles after playing with it. I trimmed the numbers on him because he isn't reliably big enough in this shell. Knuck was by far and away the best weird, non-conventional card choice in the deck. As you will see, I think the guy's the real deal, and we will find the right rug mid-range shell he could fit straight in there as a very good beater. I did consider a single Hornet's Nest, as we can cascade into it, as suggested by a few people in the comments of my last couple of videos, but didn't in the end. Maybe Dragon Ball Bees could try a rug variant with Braid elf and Electrolyze. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if that's something you think would be good, or you just want to see it anyway even if it's not good. Don't let your memes be dreams, kids. But before we begin, a huge love to all my patrons who helped support the channel and have been massively understanding during some rather trying and testing times of late. You guys are the fucking MVPs. And of course, if you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do it is to subscribe, like videos and comment. You can support directly via Patreon if you want to and get involved with brewing for the channel. We have a spicy meatball coming soon that we've been discussing with the splicers that I don't want to spoil here, but it will make it to the deck soon once you finish tinkering with it. Otherwise, you can indirectly support the channel by buying MTGO singles from mtgotraders.com, or you can buy paper cards from capefeargames.com. Use the discount code GGGetWrecked with either of them to get some monies off your brand spanking new Jaces or that collection of mono red Tron bits you've got in your basket. And yeah, I can see you. I'm always watching. Right, boys and girls, it's time to ascend. So our first hand has 2 previously banned cards in it, and some other stuff to do from the first few turns, so let's give it a go. Our opponent leads with a Swamp into Viscera Seer, which is either a terrible opener for some company-based combo deck, or it's some Fringe Vampire Brew, or potentially Mono Black Devotion.
Place your bets now! Come on, quick, bet! Betting ends!
Disclaimer, do not bet on this video. We grab a Breeding Pool of our fetch and suspend Ancestral Visions. It's not the ideal scenario of us suspending it, we want to kind of cascade into it, but it's fine here, I guess. I just forget to use Bauble for no foreseeable reason other than the fact I don't play with the card enough. He plays a Bloodghast, which means he could still either be vampires or there's a small chance he's Mono Black Devotion with a splash of white for Arbiter? We draw another copy of Visions, which is possibly the worst draw we could have seen here. I plan to hold on to Bolt for a prime target. Bauble reveals a bird, which feels a little slow and clunky at this stage of the game, so I opt to crack my fetch to shuffle it away prior to drawing it off of the Bauble's delayed trigger, only to draw another fucking bird. We are either critically, dangerously unlucky, or MTGO is bugging out and is shit. Now, one of these options is more likely than the other. I'll let you decide. He attacks, sacks the Bloodghast to scry afterwards and bottoms it, then plays a land, gets the Bloodghast back, sacks it again, tops it, then cracks his fetch anyway. I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is a cute little engine. I just wanted to think something to the Might of Blood Braid Elf. He then casts Volcarok, everyone has Madness Man, and a Legion of Lieutenant Vampire Lordy Man. We bolt the Lord to relieve some pressure, but the verdict is in. This is definitely Mardu Vampires. What a horrible night to play against vampires. We draw another land and look dangerously low on gas considering we're staring down a mounting aggressive board. He uses Faithless Looting to pitch 2 vampires. The synergy is cool, but one of them already had Madness, so could have been cast from discard, and the other's a Bloodghast that comes back when you play a land, ZTB, so joke's on you, you punk. He only attacks for 2 for reasons I don't quite understand, and I decided to save some life with the block with the birds. He does some more scrying with his Bloodghast, and I start to find this Viscera Seer really fucking annoying. We fetch events, untap and draw Bolt, which is good but a little late. We slam a Bloodbraid Elf and cascade into Ronus, who can't actually block here. This is not the time for Ronus. We just need to draw a 4-power dude, and there's a lot of them in the deck, so we might be okay. He scries again using his Bloodghast in our end step, then he plays a land to return them both. He then plays a Blood Artist and sacks the Ghasts to the Blood Artist to ping me down to below 10, and then returning them with a fetch land. That is some pretty sweet synergy. I like it. I like it a lot. With a scry and the Bloodghast triggers on the stack, he cracks his fetch in order to keep whatever he ends up scrying. This is tricksy as fuck. He swings with the Ghast and the Volcarok and I block, but I am just dead to the Blood Artist triggers after combat thanks to the sack outlet and concede. I have a handful of cards I want to play, but no green sources for the birds, and only 1 land makes me pitch it. My 6 is pretty questionable, but I don't think a 5 would be much better. I'd leave with an untapped island for literally no fucking reason other than chatting to Chris on Discord. It's all your fault, Chris. You're doing this on purpose. He does nothing turn 1, which feels good. He plays a Curse of the Bloodline on turn 2, which feels slow, but I can see the synergy with the other cards we've seen already. It seems cool, but is it any good? We do nothing ourselves here, but we do get to play a green source, which means BBE is online next turn. His Legion Forerunner goes and shoots for an Olivia, not the big chunky one, but the leaner, more aggressive one. We go for the BBE and get a Birds of Paradise. Yay. I hope these get printed in Dominaria. We get into the red zone. Yes! He attacks with his dude, discards a dude, makes a dude, pumps a dude. He plays a Blood Artist and we attack. Goyf was the draw. He blocks with his 1/1 lifelinker and we derp. Don't block the Blood Artist before and he hits a trigger, which puts him 2 life up and us 1 life down. In the end, I decided not to bolt the artist and just to slam a Goyf. The bolt grows the Goyf next turn when I cast it. He plays an Olivia, pumps his dude, and then plays a land to trigger Bloodgust coming back, and we opt to bolt Olivia before we can give it a permanent +1 boost off of her ability. He attacks the 4/4, which then makes a 5/5 in combat by discarding another Blood Artist to his Bloodline. This all feels like a lot of gas for him. We draw another Blood-Braid Elf, which is pretty good, one of our best draws here, I guess, and we cast it, and we spin that fucking wheel. We get a 4/4 blocker that comes back to our hand every turn. This feels clunky if we're kind, and shit if we're not. We swing, he blocks with a 1/1, and we just feel bad about life because we can't really do anything. He famously loots to rally the fucking ancestors into the bin, and I'm now officially scared of what he's up to. He doesn't swing, which is a shame because I really wanted to throw one of these Blood Braids under the bus, get it into the bin, then pulse it back to recast it to get some value. We get him with Goyfy Boy and play Nuck Nucks for the first time. Nuck Nucks is definitely my homeboy. I mean, look, he's obviously very British because he has such bad teeth. Our opponent makes a 1/1 pump Bloodgust and swings. We happily throw BBE under the bus in order to be able to pulse her back to hand next turn. However, this does mean he gets 2 more Blood Artist triggers, which is fucking annoying. We pulse out BBE and cast it, and we hit Ronus. This feels pretty good as his pump ability, perhaps enabling us to swing against the Vampiric Onslaught and actually get some damage in. We attack with Nux and Goyfy. He blocks the 1/1 and triggers Blood Artist again, which is lame, and I really wish I'd bolted this Blood Artist. He brings back his boy Bloodgast and temporarily pumps them with the Forerunner. The synergy is strong with this one. He attacks, I block with Bird and Bonus to stop damage getting through, but get nickel and fucking dime with that bastard artist. We draw another Nuck Nucks and have 5 attackers and 2 activations of Ronus available, but with the ability to make a 1/1, pump it with his fetch land by bringing back Bloodgast, it means he's on an effective virtual life total of 22 after Blood Artist triggers when things die. We can swing and we can pump our 2 biggest things to guarantee some damage, but it leaves us with only 4 life, him not dead, and him able to swing him with 4 damage from the Bloodgust next turn. I flunge because the math is too complex for me, and I'm fucking sick of this game. I think being able to play a blocker next turn to block one of the gas might have got us there, maybe, and that would have been the better line. Either way, his last card is Rally the fucking Ancestors. He casts it for 3, brings back another artist and an Olivia, and I don't want to live on this earth anymore. Lots of things trigger and stuff happens, and I don't really know because I'm just fucking dead. There are some blocks, I can force a lot of things to die, but my board survives, but the triggers from 2 artists plus Bloodguard swings means I am just fucked. GG Vamp E.
When he was just a kid, he lost his family to a terrorist bomb that went off in a church they were attending. His body pierced by a crucifix, Vamp was buried under the rubble for 2 days before he was finally rescued. During those 2 days, he survived by feeding on the blood of his family to quench his thirst. That was how he acquired a taste for blood.
So that's why they call him Vamp.
No, Vamp isn't for vampire, it's because he's bisexual.
Lol what?
After the last defeat, I see triple Knuckbuckle Bros and decide, fuck it, you only live once. Just need to find a green source in my first 3 turns, and Bauble will help with this. There it is. Better lucky than good. Bauble spies a hallowed fountain across the table. Is this our first encounter with a Jace deck, perhaps? We draw a Bolt and then Jace, and our first Knuckly Boy gets Logic Knotted. He's splitting scissors off green, which makes our hand really fucking awkward. But I draw a Forest of the Wheel Pro and slam Jace. The format Sculptor into play. I tick up to protect him from a random bolt from a red land, and we see a Glacier Fortress. I misread the question in the box, and I put it on the bottom of the library when I wanted to leave it on top. That's a punt. Gideon Boy, another resident thick starter of the multiverse, comes down. Knuckles over here is a perfect hasting in and stomping the Planeswalker's tits off. But Path is also a good magic card. Good night, sweet prince. Gideon gets all aggressive and shit, and Jace gets his head kicked in. He's low on loyalty now. We draw BBE and begin to Jace Storm. The plan is to put Knucklesuckle on top of the library with Jace, cascade into him, then give him haste with our red source. This way we can present a threat to Gideon and Reno over there, but still survive through any sort of removal to knock him down. He cryptic commands my BBE and draws a card off of it. Knuckles goes into hasty punching mode and punches Gideon to death. Gideon's rock hard abs were no match for our one Knuckly Boy. Detention Sphere takes out Knuckles, with Jace Storm to set up a cascade into Goyf, and then leave up mana to either keep a Bolt or slam Ronus if needed. We cast Blood-Braid Elf, and he clicks in response to the cascade trigger in order to mess with our Jace Storm. Click puts our second copy of Jace on the bottom of the library, and we draw Goyfy Boy. We are about to cascade into Bird, which isn't so good, so we decide to crack our fetch in order to run it randomly. We get Illusory Angel. Guys, it's working. This is fucking sick. We bolt the Clique and attack with Braid Elf. We cast Ronus and our opponent has seen enough thick boys and girls and scoops up. In game 2, we lead with a bird and he plays Meddling Mage naming Bolt blindly. Clever girl. We slam a tracker, angling for next turn to play a second one and play this fetch for a huge value next turn. Detention Sphere deals with our first tracker and we only feel small pangs of sadness and regret on this day because we still have our second one. We cast a second tracker and play a fetch land and crack that fetch land. This is the definition of value. He hits us with a Meddling Mage for 2 and we take it like a man. We play another land that we drew, trigger, value. We attack him for 3, no tricks, he takes it. We play a BBE second main phase, which actually feels so optimal in hindsight, but at this point I'm drunk on value, so who the fuck knows what's going on. Instead of waiting for the Cascade trigger to resolve to pick which spell to counter, he incorrectly counter draws the elf. We get a savage as fuck Knuckle Bad Boy up with it, and he probably should have countered that. He cliques us and we lose Goify, which is correct as it enables the illusionary angels in hand and the bolt was currently locked under the Meddling Mage. We play a land and start cracking clues in combat. He takes 9. Yes, boys and girls, that feels good. A fan joins as a spectator and tells me in the chat how much he likes the channel.
You smart. You very smart. I appreciate you.
My opponent realizes that I'm like famous or something, but he's never heard of me.
Wrecked.
He plays a Jace, Architect of Thought and upticks, but that small stat decrease is nothing to deter my chunky monkeys. I swing at his face, he blocks each one and loses both his creatures. We cast a Destructive Reverie to get our other tracker back. Sideboard cards, value. We play a land, value. He downticks Architect of Thought, finds 3 lands, value. We win. Value. For the record, our opponent pointed out that he hadn't actually gotten around to buying his Jaces yet, so was playing a list without Mind Sculptor. Guess that will be an issue initially as some people clamber to get him, can't afford him, wait for his price tag to drop down because he has currently got a silly price tag. After swapping out the Simmet Charm for a copy of that prowling Sharapapapapapapad, the snake cat thing that I can never pronounce or remember the name of properly, I decided to hit the 1v1 queues with prizes on the line. In round 3, our opponent plays a turn 1 Cavern. Let's play Who's That Deck?
Who's that?
Tier 1 modern deck. It's humans.
Yay. Our opponent leads a Champion of the Parish, and then a freebooter takes our Jace. We do fuck all for a bit. He plays a mage naming Bolt. Fucking hell, this is not good. We play an Ascension. He plays a Phantasmal Image copying mage naming the elf he knows we've got thanks to the freebooter. GG, well played, fun game. Game 2, he plays an Island into a Vial, which seems like a bit of a shaky start for him. I regret not bringing all of my artifact hate at this point. The Reveries would have been good at blowing up the Vials, but if he doesn't have a Vial hand, then the Reveries are pretty bad. We have a Bolt that I'm itching to blow some dude up with, but it just doesn't play anyone. He plays a Horizon Canopy and nothing else, making me question what the fuck is in his hand. We play a Knuckles whilst we have time to get ahead, and I feel really good about this. He cracks his Canopy in end step. Sheesh. Oh, and then he Vials in a 1-drop. Oh, well, okay. Fuck you then. He plays a Thalia, then Vials in a freebooter to take our Bolt. Shit the bed. I play a land tap because I'm bad at magic. I play a second Knuckles. He plays a Noble and then Vials in a Mantis Rider and attacks in the air for 4, and I just feel awful. Thalia makes our Braid Elf really awkward, so he can't cascade into a Bolt or even an Anger of the Gods in this turn, so we had to play the Visions that turn instead. I wish I was playing with Thalia right now. Probably better than this pile. These baubles are pretty awkward against Thalia as well. We cascade off of BBE, praying to hit Anger of the Gods from our sideboard, which will allow us to get back into this by killing most of his creatures, especially his aerial clock, but instead we hit the counter our stuff snake that I can't pronounce. Balls. We don't get another draw step as he swings in and then plays the Malcontents, killing us. Looks like my janky pile cannot beat tier aggro decks. Round 4 we play against Burn. I forgot to hit record and we die horribly with Temur Ascendancy stuck in our fucking hand. At this point I decided enough is enough. Let's play actual mid-range. We fiddle for a bit and land on the configuration you can see on screen at first. We move trackers and coursers into the main deck and decided that a spicy OG Jace would be fun to cascade into. I am my own worst enemy, taking out bad cards and putting in more, inverted commas, bad cards, but fuck you, Magic's meant to be fun, right? Round 5 we play against Boggles. Game 1 is your usual joke of a game. We have no removal in hand. He plays a Spirit Dancer and starts to equip it with all sorts of fucking pants. We die horribly as our deck did absolutely nothing and his deck did absolutely everything. Turn 4 kill. Also, it's worth noting that I died with 2 Jaces in hand. Yeah. The format's quick. Jace doesn't get to play much ball. Quick! Ban him! I keep one electrolyzing as I don't have enough things to side into and it can go to face. I take out all my other removal because it's just not worth it. I'd rather have the fights that I can block with or race with. Of course, our first hand has electrolyze in it, which would be good if you play a core. Spirit Dancer, but doesn't, he plays a boggle. We keep a clunky, awkward hand. Aside from the actual reveries or a bird, I don't really see what hand would have been better than this to beat boggles. This just feels like a shitty one-sided matchup where I don't have the edict effects that black would give us. They lead on a boggle and we play a goif. We can only hope to race him with big, chunky boys. We play a knuckles and slam him with goif. He plays a Daybreak Coronet. Daybreak Coronet is much like the old school teacher who tells you to stop running the corridors and demands that there's no racing to be had here. This corridor is just a one-way trip to Pound Town. We play a Corsair and that reveals Revelry. Fucking yes, we might have a game of magic here. Unfortunately, he sticks another enchantment on, which means we can't blow him out by stripping the coronet and the other enchantment off in one go, and we get hit down to 4 life. We draw the Revelry and see, yep, that's it, another Revelry. Success! We use the Revelry to blow up the protection from creatures aura so we can start to block the Pantaloon to Buffoon. He paths my goif, and without thinking, I click OK, and allow myself to search, let it resolve, and I shuffle away the Revelry. I could have chosen not to find and not to search. Fuck. I pulse back a land in order to gain life and try to shuffle away cards I don't want to see. I find a bird. Yeah. I neutralize the Spirit Dance that he plays, which helps to control how many cards he has access to. He's currently low on resources. I need to either get a big enough wall in the way or Revelry his pants off before he can find a card to get past us, like a Spirit Mantle or something that gives flying. He plays another court and a boggle. We play a Ronus and a goif. Ronus is actually quite good at blocking big ass boggles. He sits up his core lap dance with some ethereal pants, and we have to block one, and killing the core with our Death Toucher might be the best way of clawing back into this by not letting him draw cards off of his enchantments with the cantrip. Our birds go under the bus and Ronus takes down the huge core lady. I electrolyze his face to draw a bird and then play a land off my deck. Dig, dig, dig. We find a tracker who will dig us further. He puts on some spider pants and plays some lands, and he hasn't found what he needs yet. We hit Nuck Nuck and then we hit Goify. We make 2 clues off of a fetch land, crack one, draw Jace Bellerman, draw a card off of him, and still find nothing. He plays a Shatner's Baboon, that is Griff's boon to the non-cockney among us, and swings. We chump with a bird. We desperately need to find this Revelry now, or at the very least another bird to not just die and give us one more turn to dig deeper. We draw card after card after card and never find that poor Revelry that I shuffled away. GG. Looks like sorcery speed 4 drops aren't the thing you want against boggles.
Final round.
Okay, round 6, final round. Let's see if this refined mid-range list can put up some results. I'm just hoping it's not super fast aggro. I mulligan to 6, play a bird and get Inquisitioned. This might be Bloodbraid Jund. He takes our Ronus, and it's probably because it's impossible for him to kill if he is Jund, and therefore I'm now convinced he's Jund. Turn 3, a tracker with a land in hand for next turn. We can grind this game out. He plays a Bob. Grind mode engaged. I draw a Bob for the Bob, but decide to cast BBE instead for fear of her getting caught out by Thoughtseize next turn. We hit a Bauble, which, whilst not terrible, isn't the best. This probably isn't the best shout for baubles to enable goifs. BBE slams in and there's no blocks from his Bob. K-Command eats our tireless tracker and asks us to discard, and we drop the fetch land now that we don't have a tracker to get the maximum value off of it. We bolt the Bob and cast a rather big Tarmogoyf and get in. He then plays an equally as large Tarmo Boy. This kind of brick walls us here. I could pretend I might have a bolt or similar by attacking and testing if he'll block because it's a bit risky for him. It's probably the correct thing to do, but I just forget to do it for this first turn. I play a land, crack a clue, and slam the Knuckle Shuffler. He pulses Knuckles whilst his shields are down, and I feel a little bit sad. We hardly even knew him, the bucktooth bastard. I decide to swing and pretend I might have burn, which works. He doesn't risk the block and I get in for a turn. Perhaps me not doing it last turn makes him think that I'm not clever enough to actually do that, and now he thinks I've definitely got burn and has got that read on me. K-Command kills our elf and makes me discard the angel. No swings again. To be honest, I think he could have tried to get me by shooting my Goif after blocks, which feels like a misplay from him here. We draw a Bauble, Liliana shows up and our birds take one for the team. He plays a Bob and I feel like we aren't in a great position. We draw Visions, which is great in this matchup, just not this late in the game, and we suspend it. He plays a Scoos and starts to eat everything he can. Gobble, gobble, gobble. He attacks and we block and kill the Bob because in spite of it threatening his life total, the grind is real here. We draw an Angel and that's it, we concede. That did not go well. So we keep a 2-lander with Visions on the play against Jund. I feel super confident about this hand, as long as we don't miss a 3rd land drop. He does nothing on turn 1, suggesting removal to me. I slam a Goif and it gets pushed. It's predictable, but it's fair. He plays a tap over Entomb and Thought Seizes to take our Jace the Mind Sculptor, which is actually quite sad. We hit our third land drop and things feel good. We play a Corsair. Veil hits and we lose the Corsair, which feels bad. What an emotional roller coaster. We have to electrise our opponent for 2 and redirect it the Liliana killer. We draw BBE, which is sweet. If we hit a land with the 4 cards we're drawing next turn thanks to the visions, he plays a solitary lonely Goyf. We draw all the cards, which feels great in a mid-range grindfest like this. We BBE into a bird, which isn't terrible as it's a Liliana insurance. However, we can't swing. He plays a Rabble Master, which we block the token and take a Goyf hit. A Pulse and Marassa brings back our Goyf and we deploy him to go up the board and start blocking his Goyf and keep Stubborn Denial up for another Liliana or removal spell. I offer the trade and he immediately throws Rabble in front of our BBE. He plays Rabble number 2 and a Bob. Fucking hell, this guy has gas for days. We again block the token. We play another land and slam a Swashknuckler and keep up Stubborn for removal and or walkers. Bob hits a land and he plays a Ravine, so we know nothing fancy is coming from his hand at this point because we know all the information. We play the second Knuckly Bro and keep up Stubborn Denial again, make a land drop and pass back. Grindy. Bob draws him a Terminate. I tapped awkwardly, so I don't have both Stubborns up here, which means I'm bad. And if he's actually got 2 Terminate or Terminate and a push, we're shit out of luck. He tries to terminate our Goyf and we deny it.
Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that.
We block a token again. We do nothing but hold up Stubborn because we draw another land. He gets Inquisition off of a Bob, Inquisitions away our Denial, plays a Goyf and activates a man land.
And here we go.
I set up Goyfs to bounce, put a Savage in front of the Ravine and put another in front of the other Goyf. I pump the one in front of the Ravine in order to kill it and I bounce the other one back to my hand using his ability. Knuckle Boys is doing God's fucking work, like a mini Aetherling. We draw a third Nux. I heard they don't travel in herds, but instead they travel in fists. We play Fisty McFistison 1 and 2 back into play. He plays a land, we block both tokens and hope to draw a walker or removal. Electrolyze allows us to finish off injured Goyfs in combat or kill a Bob, but he Inquisitions us so we just have to pull the trigger here and now in his turn, and we kill Bob and shoot him for 1 in the face. We block the token and on our turn we play a fucking land and pass the turn. He casts Chandra Torture Defiance, which feels pretty damn good in this board still. He upticks and finds Maelstrom Pulse. This is an interesting decision point. He could have just let it go and shot us for 2 and continue to do that over the next couple of turns and try and kill us with the Chandra upticking, which also gives inevitability, but instead he decides to fire it off. He can't shoot it at a Knuckleblade if he realises what's going on because we'll just bounce it back to hand with his ability and it'll counter the spell, or fizzle it, as judges hate you to fucking say. Look, it's fizzled, alright? We know what fizzled means. Stop correcting us. So, what do you think he does here? What do you think he does here, eh? Is Savage Nutnock's gonna fucking school this boy? No, he shoots our Goyf. Oh dear. Boom goes the dynamite. He ends up killing all 4 Goyfs. That is a good Maelstrom Pulse. That killed a lot of power, a lot of dollars worth of creatures there. 3 of which of those 4 were his though. He soon realises and admits his mistake. Sometimes you gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. We're on to game 3. I keep a slow hand with Jace, not ideal, but if it doesn't Thought Seize me, we get to play with Jace in Modern, and that's what we're all here for, right? Inquisition takes our Bolt. Okay, so Jace is still with us. Bob shows us another Jace on top, so I decide, fuck it, I'm going to draw it just in case we get Thought Seized. I fetch his end step. He has no turn 2 play, suggesting he has a handful of removal. Okay. He plays a Lily, and we discard 1 of the copies of our Jaces to it. We bolt in end step, untap, and finish off with Electrolyze to kill the Liliana. He plays a Goyf. We play a Jace and bounce the Goyf. What doesn't kill the Goyf makes it bouncier. Inquisition takes our Knuckly Boy, but we draw another. We play BBE and cascade blindly into a bird. We Jace Storm after, find visions, and immediately regret everything.
I have a dream.
Anyway, at least in this situation, Jace survives if he doesn't have 2 bits of removal, so we suspend the visions. He pushes the bird and bolts the elf and Goyfs the Jace in the face. Yeah, fucking hell, that is not good for us. We play a Goyfy and a Knuckly Boy, best friends until the very end. We stare at each other as we do nothing for a few turns and Visions just ticks down. The inevitability of drawing all those cards is fucking exciting. I draw a Bolt and decide to hold on to it in case of walkers or similar. Last time we had a board stall, Chandra almost wrecked us. He plays a Screws and I decide to see what I draw before deciding to kill it. I play a Goyf and decide to get into the battle zone, no blocks, and we bolt the Screws away. We attack with everything, he blocks, and I roast to finish off his Goyf. He then shrinks our team post-combat with Charm in order to kill one of my Goyfy boys, but I play another Goyfy boy. He draws nothing and we win. Winner, winner, curry dinner. Outgrinding Jund in a mid-range mirror is always immensely satisfying. It's obvious that Jace and BBE are strong. This might not be the best, most refined shell for both of them, and let's be honest, Ancestral Visions was the MVP against Jund. Savage Knuckleblade has been pretty much a great card in every single spot I've had him. He's an efficient blocker, he's an efficient attacker, he protects himself, he can pump up, he can fight ghosts, he can speed out and kill planeswalkers. He is generally quite good, especially if you're cascading into him as a strong 3-drop. On 5 mana, you can get him out hasty, as you saw, alongside Bloodbraid Elf. Temur Ascendancy, though, wasn't so good here, so, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this especially long and exciting episode of PleasantKenobi Plays Magic badly with decks that have no right to exist. Tune in next week for Mono Blue Minotaurs in Legacy. Let me know if you think either deck has legs in the comment section below and what you would do to improve them, or comment telling me your favourite bit of this week's video. Do we still feel that Jace is too good, or will Modern simply pull a Sonic the Hedgehog and gotta go fast to compensate? Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video and comment, as it all helps with engagement and makes me feel like my existence isn't a complete waste of cosmic energy. Share the video with your friends too. The more eyes that see my work, the larger my manhood grows. Throbbing, engorged. You know you want to. You can support directly via Patreon, the links are down below. You can give just $1 or $2 a month, that's better than any ad revenue you'll give me for your views, just bear that in mind. You can also buy from my sponsors again, description has links, and then you can use the discount code as well. I'll just prove to them that I'm putting eyes on the prize. The links are in the description below. In the meantime, I'll give you some wise words from 16-bit Napoleon.
Even though Jace is unbanned, don't forget that there are only 3 certainties in life. Graveyards, Gresselbrand and turn 2 kills.
Oh, shut up, Napoleon, you fuck. I have a dream.